Is that right?
But that was still with that. She did. I knew there was some check. Plus it was mine.
Yeah.
All right, I want to welcome everybody back. Springfield Area Football Club, Leadoff Club, sponsored by Play Against Sports and Rawlings Easton. And as always, we appreciate everyone coming in, and we appreciate Pizza Ranch for helping we take care of the coaches' meals. And much as we've done every Monday for the last 6 months, Coach Rose always started off with kind of an update on our good friend Art Haynes.
Well, it continues to be good messages. As I told you last week, they're going to do the stent and the trach in the process of starting to get removed. And he didn't have the proper size, and then afterwards they determined they wouldn't be able to get it. So the respiratory therapist, the head of that, indicated we're just going to wait about 2 to 3 more weeks and take it out, period. And he wants to make sure it's done that way. But that's the latest part. He's doing rehab 5 days a week still. He called me, one of our development ladies, Denise Kettering, had a retirement deal that day. We just started the program, and I looked, it says our names on my phone. He's always called his wife for his son. That's because of troubles with phone. But, so I called him later. He called again Saturday during the Bears game. What's the update to it? What's going on? Who's winning? What went on over the weekend? So mentally, he is with it 100%. So he said it's kind of tough on the therapy, but they do it 5 days a week. But I really still think within 3 weeks that will be out, and he thinks that, and so does the family, and he would be back here for the rest of his therapy. So he just said, tell everybody. I told him how everybody asked what we do here. But he's just saying, Mark, he wants to know about anything. He said, I just need to be updated for him. So it's a pleasant conversation. He sent his best to everybody. Thank you.
To that end, I'll turn it over to our MC for today, who's skipping around the Gulf and Highland to be here. Corey
I know
Riggs.
you remember that, Corey.
Oh, I filling in for Art Haynes does not pay enough for me to be a member of Highland Strength. That is for certain. But wouldn't trade it for anything, and happy to be here with you all. Again, nice to see the room filled up again and have some weather that feels like baseball weather. So we'll get to work. Start with Coach Plott, or Republic, sitting around 500. And just had a game with Willard a little while back, an exciting game. We're going to run that back and play them again this week, Coach.
That's right. As he said, we're 6-6, and I think we're 3-5 since the last time I was here. So we have not played particularly well defensively, and I wish I could tell you guys what was going on, but I don't have a clue. It's the same kids we had last year that did a really good job, and this year, for whatever reason, we're struggling to catch the baseball. And it's not the 2-out one that you can kick and get out of the inning the next hitter. It's the double play ball with 1 out that opens the floodgates, and we're kind of giving up some big innings. And just haven't been able to score enough runs to overcome some of that. And that's hard to say because offensively we've been fantastic. We're hitting about 330 as a team, averaging about 9 runs a game. But we just, have struggled for whatever reason. It's not like we're not working on it in practice. I think it's kind of in the guys' heads at this point. They kick one, and then here comes another one, and it just kind of snowballed on them. But we've had the holiday weekend here. We've had a couple of days off since we played on Friday, and I'm hoping that it's kind of a reset for us. And then we'll start playing the way that I know we're capable of playing. We got 2 conference games this week. As he said, we're going to Willard tomorrow. Really good challenge for us. We go to Webb on Thursday, and then we got Lebanon at home on Friday. So, looking forward to the weather, and appreciate you guys having us. So, thank you.
Coach Fitzel is here from Hillcrest, and they've got a busy day as they've already got a game on the schedule for later when they get to take on Cassville.
So we're exactly the opposite of Republic. We're an umpire's dream. Our games take almost no time whatsoever. We throw it, we pitch it in the strike zone most of the time. And what I've discovered is that even the really good hitting teams don't hit it well enough if you don't help them. The problem is we don't hit it very well. And hitting is contagious. There's no doubt about it. And I think, unfortunately, not hitting is contagious. It's a confidence thing. We're taking strike three. And to me, that's just guys afraid to, if you swing and you miss, everybody knows you swung and missed. But if the umpire calls strike three, then I got missed it. I think that's what, I don't know, I'm not a psychologist. But we played a lot of games. We're 4-9. We played 13 games. We played a program. JV Varsity played 10 games week before last, which was a dumb idea by the guy who scheduled that because we didn't have the pitching to do that. So last week we played twice, which was a chance to catch our breath. This week we're back to 4. We got Cassville tonight. Parkview comes over tomorrow for another conference game. We're 1-2 in the conference. Then we have Rolla. I love Rolla. 2:00. They've got something. They've got a awards banquet, and this is the time of year where the last thing I want to be is in school. So we play 2:00 on Thursday, which means that's a full day 7, and that's like magic words to say. So we go to Rolla, and then we come home, and we go to Webb City on Friday. So we have 4 this week. A couple guys have thrown it well for us. Braxton Baker is 2-1, and you got an ERA about 1.5, and then London Hayes, who is a left-handed, can't break that window, is 1-1 with an ERA like 1.7. So they give us a chance every time they go out. London's going today, Braxton going tomorrow. So we feel good when those guys are on the mound. If we can find a way to score a few runs, we'll be in business. Thanks for having us.
All right, nothing but Blue Jays left in the next 3 spots, so I won't use mascot names the rest of the way. But Coach Adams is here to talk to us about upcoming game Greenwood has with Lighthouse Christian.
We do. We are going to continue the Easter religious weekend with Lighthouse Christian today. We have Macaulay Catholic tomorrow. And then we actually have Sparta and Spokane at the end of the week. So we have 4 games. We're 3-2. If you guys figure out, our livelihoods are built around 17, 18-year-old kids that we're relying on them. So if you guys figure this out, let us know because you can make money on this. If you figured out how to get them to respond, but at least your guys you're dealing with people that have actually played baseball before. I'm dealing with people that I had to buy gloves for, and so that's a very frustrating part of it. We played Verona last Tuesday. We got to the 4th inning. The Lightning came at the top of the 4th inning, and we're just hoping that we can finish that game because we're ahead 9-0. And so we're looking for every win we can get. So we waited around for about 45 minutes, and then went through, and we were able to finish the game. And then we played Halfway, which Halfway has a very, very good team. They have a couple good left-handed pitchers. We played them on Friday. Trenton Zarici, right-handed pitcher, threw against Clever last week. He struck out 12. It's 2-2 in the 7th inning, and we had a kid, actually a basketball player, Nick Burry, hit a 2-run home run, and we ended up winning 4-2. But we're going to challenge ourselves this week with 4 games, and then I think we come back next Monday and Tuesday, so we have 6 games in 8 days. If anybody wants to pitch for us next Friday, we're looking for somebody who can get a couple innings in. Just let us know. One thing I wanted to say, I was always at the Class 5, Class 6 level, and when this happened last year and I got thrown into this position, I knew we were going to play a lot of small schools, and I was a little bit leery about the quality of baseball. But after seeing this for a year and a half, guys, baseball in Southwest Missouri is pretty good. We went to some places that, the field wasn't very good, but they were well coached. Yeah, there's still a couple of schools that they just put somebody in place to be a baseball coach, but I was actually pleasantly surprised at the quality of coaching that's out there at the small level, small school level. I was really happy with how things were. It was a challenge to coach against some of those teams. So, if you're wondering about the small school level of baseball, it's very good in Southwest Missouri. But guys, thanks for having us, and we appreciate everything you do for us.
Well, the wins have come early and often for Clever. 11-1 start. Coach Cobb is here to tell us all about it.
Yeah, so we're playing pretty good right now, which is nice. But we've also had the ball bounce our way quite a few times, which is scary. Hopefully that doesn't change as we get later in the year. Our depth on the mound's really is what saved us so far. We don't have anybody breaking 80, but we have a lot of quality arms that can pitch and keep us in a lot of games. I think our team ERA is under 2, and then we've had timely hitting as well. Unless you throw about 60 miles an hour, because we don't hit that very well for whatever reason. Twice we've seen that, and we scored 1 both times. But all in all, it's a really fun group to coach. It's my first year there, and I just had really great senior leadership that they bought in instantly. And it can be really, really difficult for a new guy coming in. I totally get it. Chris Snyder did a great job with them, and they could have easily turned their back and not bought in, but they bought in really, really well, and it made my life a lot easier. They play really, really hard. Hitting wise, it seems like we take really, really good at bats, have a good approach. We got 6 games this week. I know dumb coach scheduling that. We got Mount Vernon today. We have Commerce, Oklahoma Tuesday. District game against Spokane Thursday. Going out Friday. And then Saturday we got a triangle with Diamond and Lighthouse Christian. So our depth gets really, really challenged on the mound. I like that though because it gives guys opportunities to get experience. We got some sophomores that are throwing varsity games that when our seniors leave, they got to replace it next year. So I think they get some quality experience there. We have a really tough district. We got Forsyth and Stratford in there. Our loss is to Forsyth. They got Tristan Hunter on the mound. He's about 92. He's a good player. We took good bats against him. They walked us off in the bottom of the 7th though. A great high school game. It's the most proud I've been of our team all year because we just fought. And it just didn't go our way. But I can live with that result with the kids that I have. So very excited for them that they're having a good year. And they're making me look a lot better than I am. So very, very appreciative for that.
Hey, Brandon. Can you tell everybody a little bit about before Clever for you and I want to know about your district?
Yeah. So I graduated from Nixon, played for Coach Greenwood. Sure you guys all know Coach Greenwood. He made me want to get into this. When I graduated from Evangel, I was a GA there my 5th year. Then I went to Cassville, and it was a little rough. I took the job knowing we were going to start 7 freshmen, and we built it up.
Played against Glendale.
Yep. Came into that tournament, which we should not have been in that tournament. I was used to, Knicks and all that stuff, but they had a lot of young kids. And then we built it up, and then we were going to have 7 seniors start their senior year. Well, that was the year COVID happened. And so those senior kids didn't get to see it all the way through. It was kind of stuff. Then me and my wife had a child, and we moved to Clever, where I took a job at Ozark, where I worked under Coach Sunley, which if you guys haven't been around Coach Sunley, get around him as much as you can. He's one of the best coaches I've ever been around. He knows the game really, really well.
He's coming here next week.
Well, yeah, you're going to learn a lot from him. He's humble, but he's a really good guy. And was there for 2 years, got to work under him, and I think that changed my entire perspective on coaching and changed the way that I do things. I think I needed that maturity being under him. And then last year, took the Clever job because I live in Clever. Me and my wife was driving to Monette, and I was driving to Ozark, so it's a good place to meet. And then that opened up, and I got it. And now I go 2 minutes to the school, and she works from home. So kind of worked out good for us. Our district is a 5-team district, which is kind of weird to me. I think it should be at least 6 or 8. But we have Forsyth, Stratford, Sparta, Spokane. Stratford's got really good arms. Forsyth has really good arms on the mound, and Stratford's good every year. So it's kind of a dogfight for that 1 seed. We're 1-1 in conference. We beat Stratford, and we lost to Forsyth. So we're kind of rooting for Stratford to beat Forsyth, and maybe we can make an argument to get that 1 seed. So that's my journey. So,
Thanks.
Yep.
Our final group of baseball Blue Jays today from Marshfield, winners of 3 of their last 5. Coach Payne.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. So we're sitting at 6-6 right now. We lost 11 2 weeks ago, and since then we've been 4-2, and so it's kind of a pivotal moment there for us at that point in the season. We weren't swinging the bat really well, and so our guys got to work, and we've been swinging the bat very well as of recently. The thing that's getting us right now is that one big inning. Get in the game, guy gets on, next guy gets a hit, and then next thing you know, 2 or 3 runs, scraps the top across, and just trying to eliminate those. We're currently starting every day 2 freshmen, 2 or 3 sophomores. We actually have 1 sophomore who is he's running track first because our track team is pretty good and they have a chance to win state in 4x1. And so we have him part-time, about 50 to 60% of the time. So when he's there, he's starting in the outfield. He's very good in the outfield for us, very fast on the bases. And then we also have 2 freshmen who are starting pitching for us. Both are very, very skilled and very, developed for being 14, 15-year-old kids. So we're pretty young. We've had some learning experiences early on in the season, but I like the way that we're trending right now because, like I said, we've been hitting the ball very well since the 11 game and losing to them. We've got a really good senior class this year. 2 of our senior leaders, Wyatt Rockman, our catcher, and then Jackson Roby. Unfortunately, he's not pitching for us this year. Had a labrum surgery back in the fall, so he's playing a little bit of first and third for us. Both of them are swinging the bat extremely well for us, and just excited to see these guys continue to improve throughout the season because we've made big improvements. We lost to Willard on Friday. We were up 4-2 in the going to the top of the 7th, and then gave up a 3-run inning there in the top of the 7th. They went up 5-4. Found a way to tie the game in the bottom of the 7th, and they just couldn't come through in that last at bat. We had runners in second and third with 1 out, and you'd like to see a senior come through there in a tough situation and roll over on the ball, and but we played a very solid 7 innings against them. Like I said, really excited to see our young guys really stepping up and maturing and learning how to play high school baseball. They've seen really good competition before, but everybody here knows that you go in there and play high school spring baseball. It's a lot different than going out to showcase tournaments, and teams are actually bunting the ball and doing different things, and you actually have to pay attention to those things, and it's exciting to see those guys grow up and mature. Thank you guys again.
Shift gears to the college side now. BBC's been on a roll. Coach Merriman will let us know about what's been going well for the guys from BBC.
Yeah, we're playing pretty well right now. We've won both of our midweek games this week, and then another conference sweep against Randall University. So we are 26-15, 11-5 in the conference. Playing well. We have midweek tomorrow against Westminster, and then we go to Arlington Baptist. Arlington is the conference leader, nationally ranked, and they have a win over a Division I program this year. So it's going to be a tough test for us. But if we can play well there, it could really shift things in the conference and the region for us. So it's a great opportunity for us. But we're still pitching the ball extremely well. Our starting rotation is Jackson Vestal from Marshfield is our one, who's a horse. He went to St. Louis Community College. He's really good. Our number 2 is a kid from Lighthouse Christian, Josh Buxton, who's 85, 87 left-handed. Our number 3, Garrett Hunter from Willard, who went to Central Missouri and then bounced back to us. He threw 8 innings this week, no runs, 10 punch outs. He's 89, 91. And then Landon Richards, who is a stud at Hollister, went to Johnson County for a year. He's our number 4. So we match up in our division of baseball on the mound as good as probably anybody. And that keeps us in games. We're one of the national leaders in fielding percentage. Our team fielding percentage is almost 970. So we throw it over the plate, we pick it up, throw it across, and if we score enough runs, we're pretty good. So we've won 7 in a row, but got a tough stretch ahead of us. But thank you guys for what you do, and high school guys, get to see you guys and hear what you're doing. So I really appreciate you guys having us.
Coach Henry's here. There's no off weekends in the Heart of America Athletic Conference. They had to take on nationally ranked Central Methodist.
Yeah, we went 1-3 versus CMU. Won the first one, 2-1. Actually had a freshman step up and led both RBIs in that game. But really, it was Austin Bill who kept us in it. He's the guy I want to highlight today. He's a 6th-year senior for us, so one of those COVID silver linings. Tremendous person, first and foremost. He's absolutely our leader. Works his tail off, humble attitude. He just broke his own single-season strikeout record. Set it last year at 89, and then he's at 92 now. I think in 62 innings, he has struck out 92. He's walked 22. He's got a 1.87 ERA. He's 7-1 on the season, so he's really kept us in it. We are 21-17 overall in the year. After going 1-3 with CMU, we dropped to 6-14 in the conference. We've got 3 weekends left, 3 guaranteed weekends. We go to Mid-American Nazarene, who's 3rd in our division right now, this weekend, and then we go to Graceland that following weekend, and then we finish up at home versus Windsor. So kind of figure we got to win at least 6 of those 12 games to have a decent chance. If we win 7 or 8, then we've got a real solid chance to advance the conference tournament. Much easier said than done. We have yet to win a conference series. We split one with Hope Valley, and all the others we've gone 1-3. So we have played a lot of close ball games. I think in the first 3 divisional series we played, we went 4-8, and in those 8 games we lost by a combined 15 runs. So we're right there playing competitive baseball, just not quite doing enough. So we got to get hot at the right time. But looking forward to the remaining opportunities we have to compete. Thanks again for having us.
Drury Panthers are 12-8 in GLVC play and had a series with Indy this weekend, Coach Nasby, right?
Yeah. They say negative publicity is not a bad thing, right, when you're out there. But as you may have come across it this week, we were in the national news for one of our games on Friday that I'll get to. But it was not positive news for the Panthers. So we played Pitt State on Lightning Day, which was Tuesday or Wednesday. It was Tuesday last week. Looked at the radar, wanted to try to get it in. Didn't have another day to play on. So had a delay, I think, in the 4th. And it was a tie ball game, close ball game. We were in the bottom of the 4th. Cade Bellard from Willard started and threw really well for us. Struck out 4 in 3 innings, giving up 1 run. We scratched for a couple of runs at the plate. Had a block at the plate, courtesy of Rick Hammers. Gave us a run there in the 3rd inning to tie it up. And then the 4th inning, had another guy at the plate with the first baseman cut the ball off. He probably should have let it go through, and he had been out by 65 feet at home plate. But there was more lightning coming, and we were trying to get a lead before the 5th, and they cut it off, and we scored. So we scored 2 there. Had a lightning delay and rain delay for a good hour and a half probably, and then got back on the field. Had back and forth battle. We had a 5-4 lead in the top of the 8th. And going into the last 2 innings of every game this year, we've had the lead. We have not blown it. They had 1st and 2nd, nobody out. They bunted, and our second baseman's coming in to close games, and Bastunas stops his feet, throws the ball over to first baseman's head. And 2 runners score, and then ends up being a 6-5 ball game, win or losing in the last inning with the bases loaded. Had a chance to win, but ended up grounding out with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 9th. So lost that Pitt State game, and then we hit the road. We've been really good at home. I think we've lost 3 games at home. And as of now, we've lost 13 on the road. So we are excited to play at home this weekend. But this past weekend was at Indy. Game 1 against Indy. It's a grass field. And turf is awesome. It's great to play on turf. You don't have to worry about anything. But when you go on the road and you have not taken balls on the grass field, especially if it's not a high-quality field, we've had some issues on the road. We haven't fielded it very well. We have not played well on grass on the road. And that's what we did in Indy. Made errors, walked guys, and it didn't execute. We lost the first game 9-1. Next game, we had the lead going into the bottom of the sixth. And Indy bunts and runs and hit and runs and slashes and does all those things. And we give up a 5 spot in the sixth. They had 8 consecutive guys reach and 1 ball left in the infield, whether it be walks or errors or bunts, slashes, that kind of stuff. Things went their way and not our way. And then the national news we had was they have a 2-way guy that pitches game 3. And first inning, home run, although they call it foul. They decided to get back together. They called it a home run. Second at bat, hits the ball down the line. Man on first. It's probably a single. We try to throw the lead runner out so he goes to second. He gets a single. Ball hit in the gap. Both outfielders dive for it. He ends up on third base, and he can't run a lift, but both guys are on the ground. He gets to third. Last at bat, single. So it hits for the cycle. He's also on the mound, and he's the 88-91 left-hander in a 7-inning game. And he throws a no-hitter against us. So we gave up a no-hitter in a cycle to the same player in the same game, and Sports Center reported the next morning that it was the first time in college baseball history. So my mother-in-law read it in the Wall Street Journal. Luckily, most people so far don't know Drury was attached to that. They've been doing a good job of promoting it to Indy. So the Indianapolis Star interviewed me about it the next day, asked how we rebounded. We won the last game. Played pretty well. Bastunas came in, held the lead. We won 6-3. It was a close ball game, 2-2. We pinch hit for our catcher. We have not got much offense from our 2 catchers, and those are the only 2 guys I feel confident who can catch the ball. But Shaver and Byrne haven't hit much, so we pinch hit really when their third at bats come up. Bases loaded with a kid named J.C. Kabuyevon, who played for Liberty last year, and he hit a pinch hit grand slam, put us up 6-2, so we won that game 6-3. And then Bastunas came in and got the last, I think, 7 outs of the game to save that game. So got on the bus, pretty happy. An 8-hour bus ride home from Indy after a win. It was pretty happy, even though we lost 3 out of 4. But Indianapolis Star asked, "How'd you get your guys to respond the next day?" And I said, "It can't be any worse than the day before when we give up a cycle and a no-hitter. So we're at least going to get 1 hit probably. And if you lose, it's better than the day before." So I was proud of our kids for responding that way. We now have 8 games at home. So if we continue this trend, we should be pretty good in the next 8 games. And we don't play on grass anymore. It's all turf from here on out. So things are looking positive. A couple of highlights just in terms of stats. We have 3 guys who've really been pitching it. Try to pull this up real quick. Jack Jones has been going game 4 for us. Just that's the way it's fallen. He's got a 1.44 ERA, 31 innings, 24 strikeouts, only giving up 5 earned runs. Cody Ball has been good until this past weekend, but he's got a 4.69 in conference, but a 2.8 overall. And then Mason Meeks has been really good for us. He's got a 2.6 ERA, 30 innings, 31 strikeouts. He's only walked 3 guys in those innings. So those 3 guys are giving us a really good chance to win all games. Got to figure out that 4th guy, Cade Bellier, probably going to start this weekend against Trinity State. Single Friday, 5 p.m., double 1 p.m. on Saturday, and 12 p.m. finale on Sunday. Thanks for having us.
Last but not least, Missouri State at home for 3 games this weekend against Bradley. The Bears break out the brooms and sweep the Braves in exciting fashion on Easter Sunday. Coach Gunn.
And an Easter egg hunt afterward.
That's right.
And I did not partake in it. So our biggest problems recently have come from not being able to hold the lead. This is more or less the last couple of weeks. Our closer's out with a shoulder issue. We don't know what's going to happen there. So after much discussion, we finally figured out how to fix that problem. We got behind all 3 games this weekend and came back to 1. So that's the key. But, we had 3 really good starts at Illinois State out of our top 3 guys and 1, 2 out of 3. And then we had 3 really subpar starts out of all 3. And our guy with the best stuff, who's the best prospect, started yesterday and couldn't get out of the 2nd inning. That's not a good thing on day 3 of a weekend series. So whatever bullets we had, we expended yesterday. When somebody struggles, that's an opportunity for somebody else. And we've had a freshman, Garrett Ferguson, who after the fall was kind of a maybe guy, might get some innings here or there. He's had 7 consecutive good outings. And this weekend, he had a save Friday, He had a save Saturday, so you're going into Sunday, and the old adage, you know, you never want to really use a guy 3 days in a row, but you're in college. So he comes out, he gets the win yesterday. So he got a win and 2 saves for a guy that at the beginning of the year wasn't even pitching. So that's been really encouraging. I'd say you really don't want to use a guy 4 times in 5 days, but we'll see how it goes tomorrow. So as far as individuals, you know, Zach Stewart, 11, a guy who most of you are familiar with, certainly in the high school ranks, has been as advertised. In 30 games, he has 20 extra base hits. He hits the ball really, honestly, as hard as anybody that we've had in recent years. He's a left-handed hitter. And you know, when you sign guys, you always think, well, you know, he'll hit and we'll figure it out. And when I saw him as a junior, I really didn't know what position he could possibly play. But I went back as a senior, he really did a good job with his body in the winter. And he's been a good outfielder. He's played right field every day for us. And Friday, he makes a throw late in the game. And he has a shoulder problem now, get an MRI tomorrow. So we're all just praying that it would not impact him hitting. And we didn't know that until Saturday morning. And some of the guys were like, you know, we can't play him. We can't take a chance. I said, let's slow down. Let him go through his hitting routines and see what it looks like in the cage. He got in the cage, he was absolutely no different. I've seen that happen before with arm injuries where guys couldn't throw, but they could hit. And he's as advertised, and I think you'll continue to hear a lot about him through his career. The only bad thing is he's a draft eligible sophomore because of age. So 2 years with him, we'll enjoy it. Our freshman hitters have probably shown more maturity at times than our older hitters. Maybe they just don't know any better yet, but between Zach Stewart, Tag Gollard, who had a nice day for us yesterday, 2 grand slams, and Jake McCutcheon from Francis South. Those 3 guys are pretty much playing every day and really having a lot of quality bats and letting go of bad at bats, which is really obviously one of the keys to hitting. So those guys have been staples for us, along with Ferguson in the bullpen. Spencer Nivens, who came into the year with a lot of hype, has met that hype. That's hard to do. When you have a good year and it becomes your draft year, there's a lot of expectations, but he's played extremely well in center, leads the team in hitting, leads the team in a lot of things. He's been a really good player for us. Cam Craddock, who's probably physically the age of the oldest person in here. I don't know who that is. I'm not suggesting it's anybody, but he moves about like he's 150. Had 4 hits yesterday, none of which were infield hits. Joey sent him home from first base Saturday on a deep ball in the outfield, and I swear there were timeouts during that. They bobbled it, they missed the cutoff man, and it was bang bang at home. But, so he started swinging the bat better. Spencer Nivens been good. Some of our other older guys have struggled, but you know, you just got to get some consistency out of your starting pitcher. And Reed Metz from Rogersville is a guy we were counting on heavily before the season. The last Sunday before the season started, he hurt his elbow. Fortunately, there was no, to our knowledge, damage to the ligament. So he's 8 weeks out and will face hitters today or tomorrow. Everything goes well, he'll be on the roster for this weekend. Somebody we really need and we really feel like can help us. Ziegenbein, who's a 9th-year senior for us, our closer, who tied the record for appearances, Corey, is that correct?
88 with Brian, yeah, yes, sir.
On the Sunday, he got hurt.
Yes, sir.
So one more appearance from him. It might be left-handed for a pitch, but he's going to break the record. I mean, he's really been good for us over the years. So we have the University of Missouri tomorrow night, and I think just looking at what they've done and on paper, I think it's probably Coach Beaser's best team he's had. He's been there since 2017. Their pitching coach played at Drury, Ricky Meinhold. I'm sure some of you know him. Their pitching is really, really good. Ricky's done a great job at their pitching. So they swept Tennessee, who at the time I think was the number 2 team in the country, the first SEC weekend. That's pretty hard to do. They've had some injuries in their pitching staff. mainly their weekend guys, but they'll have good arms to throw at us. So, following our guys in the big leagues, Jake Berger just got called up again April 5th. Luke Floyd signed a 1-year deal with the Brewers. He's up. Pierce Johnson, who I think is with the Rockies, and Dylan Coleman's with the Royals. So those guys are hanging in there doing well. Any questions from anybody? Appreciate what you guys do over here. Thank you for having us out. Appreciate it.
Games Tuesday.
What's that, Mike?
Bullpen game Tuesday.
Pray game Tuesday. Yeah, I'm gonna go over to Vanderbilt first, then I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna stop by BBC. We don't know when we're starting and we don't know when we're relieving. But we got the 3 games we had to get this weekend. And, you know, we can't hold guys. We just gotta go with what we got. We're short, but we'll see what happens.
Again, I want to thank everybody for coming, and Coach Mullins, I can't believe Coach got
We're gonna bring Coach Mullins in.
I knew I could outrun the ball.
In the 7th inning, we're gonna have a sprint off Coach Mullins and Cam Craddock. And on my money, go Coach Mullins.
I have our associate there too, because you told me his knees are 120 years old.
We've got some older guys that can't run.
Again, coaches, thanks so much. Administrations, I appreciate you guys. And Coach Snodgrass has got a lot of shoe leather in on this, and I appreciate this wouldn't have happened without him. And also, again, thank you to Play Against Sports for sponsoring. Scores at Missouri Sports Network. This is live at Missouri Sports Network. If you want to go back and rewatch any of this, it's at our Facebook page and our YouTube page. But again, and continue to pray for Art Haynes throughout the week. You know, keep him fresh in your thoughts and your prayers. But there's still plenty of food out there. There's ice cream, soda. You guys hang around, do whatever you want. But thank you so much for coming.